At the time of this recording, shortly after Google I/O 2019, where Jetpack Compose was announced, the toolkit is still in an early exploration phase, and it's not ready for production, as you see here in this message on developer.android.com. When it is production ready, Jetpack Compose will presumably be an Android X dependency you can pull into an Android project. But for now, you have to use the repo tool from Google. And that's what we'll do in this video. Repo is a Python tool built on top of Git that is the primary means of developing for the Android Open Source Project, or AOSP, the base of the Android operating system. Jetpack Compose is being developed within AOSP so that you can see its source code and potentially even contribute to the project. When we're done, we'll have a custom version of Android Studio 3.4 that is built to work with Jetpack Compose. So I have a terminal window open here on Mac OS. First, I want to make a directory to hold the repo tool. So I do make dir ~bin. I want the repo tool to be in my path. So I do path equals ~bin : $path. That adds bin to my path for the current shell session. And if you want bin to be in your path permanently, you can add it to a file like .bashrc if you use bash, or .zshellrc if you use zshell. Now I want to use the curl command to download repo from Google servers. So I do curl https://storage.googleapis.com/git-repo-downloads/repo, and then I redirect by ~bin/repo. So that just downloaded repo from Google servers into my bin folder. I need to make the file executable, so I do chmod a+x ~bin/repo. You also want to make sure that your git install is configured with your name and email. So you want to enter something like git config --global user.name, and then put your name in quotes, and then do git config --global user.email, and then put your email in quotes. This is especially important if you want to contribute to the Jetpack Compose project, which you can see here by going to the Jetpack Compose page, clicking this button, then scrolling down to the bottom and clicking on Android X Contribution Guide. And you see here instructions on how to contribute to Android Jetpack. Next, I'm going to make a directory to hold the Android X source code. So I do make dir Android X-master-dev. And then I cd into that folder. So this folder is going to hold the Android X source code that we pull down using repo. Now, before we do that, we first need to initialize the directory with a repo manifest. So type in repo init -u https://android.googlessource.com/platform/manifest --b, and then the same name as the directory, Android X-master-dev. In this case, it's actually the branch that we're going to be checking out. Now, this manifest is not an Android app manifest, but instead it's a file describing the AOSP source code structure. The -b flag and its value pick a particular branch to use from AOSP. So we're picking the Android X master dev branch that has Jetpack Compose. If we did not use this branch flag, we'd pull down the whole AOSP source code, which is literally hundreds of gigabytes. The Android X source code is less than 10 gigabytes, so we're saving a lot of time and space. Now I'm going to run the command, but you're going to see an error. So I hit no to make sure that we use repo instead of grep. And the error is that for some reason repo is not compatible with Python 3. So we're going to want to use Python 2 instead. To do this, first you want to type in Python 2 to make sure it's installed on your system. And if it is, you'll see the Python prompt. So now you can hit Control D to get out of that. And I'm going to hit Control L to clear my screen. So now we need to edit the repo tool to use Python 2 instead of Python 3. You can use any text editor you want, but I'm going to use Vim. So I do vim ~bin/repo. So you see here at the top that we're just using Python to interpret this script, and that Python defaults to Python 3 on my system. So to fix that, I just changed Python to Python 2, and I do :WQ! To save the file and exit Vim. Now if I do ~bin/repo, you see in fact that the file's been saved. Now we're using Python 2, so I get Q to get out. Another Control L to clear the screen. So now we need to rerun that repo init command. So just hit the up arrow a few times to find it, and then hit return. You may be prompted while this is running to enable color display, and if you are, just hit Y to do so. That command initialized this directory, and you can see that by typing ls-la, and you see a .repo folder here. So if you do ls.repo, you see the manifest for repo inside that .repo folder. The manifest defines what parts of AOSP I want to download. So I'm going to do Control L again to clear my shell. The next command we run is going to download the Android X source code. So we do repo sync-j8-c. This is going to take a bit of time to run, so I'll skip ahead in the video to when it's complete. Okay, so that repo sync command is finished. It took about 2 to 3 minutes to run on my connection, and I can do an ls-l to see what got created. So there's build, external, frameworks, pre-built, and tools folders. The Jetpack Compose docs say to go to the framework support folder, but you actually want to go to the UI subfolder of framework support. So I do cd frameworks support UI. Now I do /studio w to start up a version of Android Studio that will work with Jetpack Compose. The first time you run this, it's going to take a while to run, and you may see a license agreement, which you can accept by just typing Y. Okay, so the build finally finished, and I see that license agreement prompt, so I type Y, and then Android Studio starts up, and you see that this version of Android Studio 3.4.1 is meant to run with Jetpack Compose. You may also see the project that's in the UI directory opened up in Android Studio when you run the Studio W command. And if you do, that's fine because we're going to start there in the next video.